Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have something exciting that I'll be covering with you today. And without further ado, let's begin. So, what I'll be covering is first the overview of the automated outbound system that books me 50 leads or 50 booked sales calls per month. Next is if you're not booking meetings, how to fix that step by step. I'll be covering the types of DM sequences that you should be following, along with the openers that you should be using for best results, and also your Instagram profile optimization that you should be using and implement. Then lastly is the tech stack that you need to use, and covering all the tools that to really increase your productivity in your outreach system. Let's begin. First things first, who is this system good for? The type of people that this system would work really well for: online entrepreneurs, coaches, agencies, high-ticket sales, marketing professionals, those that have a personal brand or are micro-influencers. These types of people will really do well with this. The next one is, where would I start as a beginner? So what I would do is I would start first with one account using your personal. And if you're not sending right now at least 50 to 100 messages and don't have the three things dialed in, which is offer, profile, and your first message, more on this later, then forget about scaling. Focus first on those three things, and then the rest will follow. Going into the automated outbound system, it would always start first with your lead generation VA. What their responsibility is to scrape and filter for qualified leads, usually 100 per day per account, sending out 50 DMs daily on Instagram per account, and then tracking the key performance indicators and updating the CRM sheet regularly. The lead generation or the VA will be finding people on Instagram, looking into a lot of ways. There's hashtags, there's from the Explorer, there's going into micro-influencers and scraping those that follow them. It's finding people that are commenting on lead magnets and scraping those comments because those are more active people online. Whatever it may be, we're going to scrape and qualify 100 per day per account for one account, and then we're going to put them into the lead database tracking sheet. Once there, we're going to take those leads and we're going to upload them into the auto DM booking bot. What's going to be happening is now the auto booking bot, and actually the VA is going to, once they put into the booking bot, all they have to do is just with a click of a button with view variations in order to humanize the sending. Then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sending 50 messages with 5 Instagram accounts that we bought. And the VA's KPIs for this, we call him the growth specialist, or setter, is 250 outbound DMs a day. Their job is to manage positive replies. They will be doing 125 follow-ups, and their goal is to book 1 to 4 calls per day. Now you can have separately a VA that is just in charge for lead generation and filtering and qualifying and inserting quality leads into the IG bot. And for the setter as well, you can have 2 separate leads so that the setter will only handle and manage conversations. But currently I just have one guy that does both and do it extremely well, so it can work. All they have to do is just manage the click of the buttons and then the speed to lead implementation. Now, if they have 5 accounts here sending 50 DMs a day, and hypothetically out of 50 DMs a day, 1 to 2% will turn into a book call. So that will equal 3 to 5 calls per day once fully ramped. Again, so if I was starting out as a complete beginner, I would first, and I could do this all by myself, is just use the automated bot, but use softwares to scrape and find your type of quality targeted leads, and then with a click of a button, just with one account, you could be sending 50 messages a day, and then you can just follow up with them using the sequence that I will show you. However, if you are an entrepreneur that is planning to scale right now currently and you're making over the 5 to 10K per month, then I would recommend mass DM outreach. And how that works in a bigger scale is, now imagine if we master one VA handling around 5 DMs a day, or excuse me, 5 accounts, sorry, it's almost 12 a.m. August 23rd, and it's actually going to be 8 minutes to my birthday, so happy birthday to me. But going back to it, so what I was saying, one VA and yourself is able to just manage sending 5 IG accounts or one account in for one person. But if you really want to scale, we can have and create and hire 3 VAs that's now putting qualified leads into 5 to 10 to 15 accounts, and then in doing so, it's a numbers game, volume, which is you can create 3 to 12 calls per day once fully ramped. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, if we are sending 50 messages to 5 accounts and we require 100 qualified leads per day per account, all you got to do is 100 times 5, because we're sending per account, which is 500. Now all we do is just up the increase for the filtering of qualified leads from the VA, and all you got to do is have the VA making sure they will be providing the qualified leads, uploading it to the tracking sheet, and then from the tracking sheet it will be handled down to the setters, and all you got to do is just turn on the auto IG bot, and there you go. It would send 50 messages to as much accounts as you want, and all you got to do is follow up and have conversations with them, and then you can book 3 to 12 calls per day once fully ramped. From that overview, I also want to get very practical and realistic onto exactly how much you could potentially make when starting out. So I created a reverse engineering calculator that we can be doing the math. So let's say you're an online entrepreneur and your goal is to make, let's say, $30,000 a month, and let's say that your average ticket price, the average high ticket price for a high ticket salesman is about 5 to 10. Let's assume $3,000. Okay. From there, that's going to be, you're going to need 10 deals needed in order to get 30,000. So let's insert 10 deals. And before we enter the 10 deals here, let's talk about our metrics. So we're going to assume that we're pretty much crapping everything. So let's assume our first reply rate is at 10%, which is very low. Let's assume that our reply to booking conversion rate is 10% as well. And then let's say we have the average closing rate for any type of niche right now in the nation is 20%. So let's just say that's 20%. But we will also increase a 20% padding for the margin safety errors. Basically, it means we'll just give a cushion if anything happens, any type of factors or variables. We'll make sure that we'll be able to hit our targets. So understanding that, let's put 10 right here and see the numbers real quick. Okay, so in 30 days, in order to get 10 clients with a 10% reply rate, that would mean realistically we need 5,000. We need to be sending 5,000 DMs per month, and that divided by 30 days is 167 messages. The book calls needed out of that is going to be 500. 5,000 divided by 10 is 500, and then that means the book call per day is going to be 17. So out of the 500, 20% of 500 is 50. We're going to need 50 sales calls per day in order to close our target of $30,000. But I've added the 20% here. So the adjusted number of DMs needed per month is going to be 60,000, because 20% of 5,000 is 6,000. And then the daily outreach message is going to be 200, with 4 Instagram accounts sending 50 messages per day. And that's how we're able to really scale our business realistically. Another key indicator here is going to be our productivity time. When performance is measured, performance improve. When performance is measured and reported back, the rate of improvement accelerates. Pearson's law. So where our time is heading at, let's assume it takes us 5 minutes to personalize the message and find and scrape the person. The total time saved per outreach DM is going to be 1,000 minutes, and that's about 17 hours saved. So using the outreach automated system, we're going to be saving 17 hours of our time and being able to put that in other things that really drives the needle, which is could be taking more sales calls, posting content, being with your family, whatever is important to you. So what would you do with that 17 hours back of your time? Okay, so that is the KPI reverse engineering calculator. Let's go on to the next one, which is, now we understand that it is possible to scale and get even 10, 20, or even $30,000 or more, because it's a numbers game and volume neglects luck. So let's talk about why you're not booking meetings. There could be a number of factors why you're not booking meetings, but it comes down to 20% of it can be your copy. You don't have to have the best copy or the most perfect copy, and I know a lot of, including myself, get held up with spending hours trying to create the perfect script and whatnot, but in actuality, 80% of the reason why you're not booking any meetings is it can be your lead quality, which is most important. It could be your profile not being optimized. It can be your offer, and that's going to be a higher impact than just your copy. There's many people that has subpar copy that, because they optimize other places that has, and they are creating content, they have systems in place, and they are attracting their ideal audience, they are making sales. So let's go into each one real quick, starting with the outbound. Oops, give me 1 second. It kind of froze on me. Start with the B2B outbound convo flow framework. Let's go real quick. So in the start of the convo, we have to create context and familiarity in the opener. Examples is leveraging mutual relationships that you have. Leverage that you are potentially both business owners. Give and provide compliments. Use their bio and discover interests and maybe mutual connections. Leverage authorities that you both follow. And go the indirect, stating that all the names that you worked with and results generated. I will probably talk to more about this because this is more of I prefer the direct approach better, but only go direct if you have an impressive resume and offer. So here is a few of the things. So here are the few examples of the opener. So the mutual friend opener. Hey, name. Notice that we have a few mutual friends in the space. Been in the game for a while now too? Or are you also in the game? You could play around with it. An example for running stated business. Hey, name. Notice that you're also running, running an agency. Notice that you're a real estate agent. Have you been in the game a while now too? Next is compliments. So, hey, name. Take a look at what you got. I took a look at what you got going and I love it. How long have you been at it? You can look at their bio and it's like, hey, name, I love that you are a real estate agent in Austin. How long have you been at it? And then authority openers. Hey, name, so that you also follow the authority figure. I can see a lot of what he or she teaches in your work, also a big fan. Very simple. Saw that you also follow Chris Crone. I could see a lot of what he or she teaches in your work, also a big fan. And then the direct pitch, which is, hey name, I saw that you're running the business type that you work with. Thought I'd reach out. I've previously worked with, and then provide a list of business owners and generated a total number combined of generated revenue via a mechanism used to generate results. If you're open to it, I'd love to see if I could help you along in any way. I have lots of free resources that I can send over as well. Just let me know. And yes, I've used a lot, and I went with the direct pitch or the no BS opener. And I come to realize that it's easier to get more conversations with the compliment and like the personalized approach. But it takes time, I guess. With the direct no BS opener, it doesn't, I guess, pull a lot of in the openings compared to the personalized, but it's more of a higher retention and conversion when it comes to, in my case, booking calls. Because number one, you're not wasting time. You're not wasting their time. One of the things that I personally, as a business owner, do not like is being wasting my time, and also the type of generic pitches. Or I'll actually show you a few of the examples that I've got pitched with. But anyways, going back to it, this is the type of DM script sequence that I've used with me and my VAs. Which, what we do is, again, I emphasize the lead quality, finding micro influencers in the niche and working through their following, and then the volume, 100 per day with the speed to lead, which is also very important. Before DMing on Instagram, engage with their content, follow, comment something personal, and higher chance of seeing them in the DMs. I use VAs for this, but there's also softwares that I will show you that's able to automatically follow and comment on them, and it's just a higher chance for them seeing your DMs. So examples of commenting on their posts: hey name, this post really hit home, especially I like your take on whatever it's on their post. By the way, I've sent you a message that may be hiding your request. Would love to connect. So these are some examples that my VAs would use, and you can use AI for this. Just make sure that you tweak it, and you make sure that it sounds a normal casual talk and how you would conversate. And the type of messages to send. So I'm currently testing out 3 messages right now for 3 accounts, which is all direct, but it's providing value, right? So, hey, first name, I have helped guys like the authority figure make over 6 figures in 3 months using the killer outbound system with just DMs, no ads. Is that something that you'll be interested in? And then I use risk reversal method. So if you're open to it, I can send over a quick Loom vid explaining the process. This is a type of thing where I'm just sending a free training, not really pushing a book call yet, because I want them to get nurtured by the type of video that I'll be sending them from the Loom video. Next one is the split test, pitching offer. Hey name, I helped guys like Chris Crone make over 6 figures. Same thing, using killer outbound system, no ads. Now what I do is I provide the offer. If I can build the same AI-driven booking system to automate your outbound flow and guarantee up to 30 appointments in 30 days, would that interest you? And then on top of that, with the guarantee, I use the risk reversal method, which is pay only if it works and love what you're doing, man. And then I'm using the next one, which I do have VAs that I train and I put into their system as well if they need. So, hey, name, if I could offer you 5 to 10 guaranteed clients in any niche using our $3 an hour VAs and killer booking system. So that's what I'm testing. The thing is, it wouldn't help if you're copying because you're not being unique. What I've used with this is what I provide and then who I served. So depends on, I would just take this as an idea and then maybe find a way to implement it into your offer and your services. But anyways, let's continue. And I have the sequence of follow-up. If they don't reply, 15 to 24 hours. I usually automate the first message, which is, hey, I wanted to circle back, take a chance to see my message. Then if they do reply, I have an answer, 3 types of answers. Or if they say no, I also follow up One day later, we don't only DM them, but I also advise my VAs to reply to their stories in order to notice me and potentially read my DM. Always aim to follow up from the comments or one of their active stories, which is very important as well. Day 2 follow-ups, day 3, day 4, and you could potentially continue to follow up with them as much as you want. Then I have the script prospect is having the meeting, what you'd say, and booking them on a call. Yes, I use the no BS openers, but essentially, yep. So that's what works for me currently. Again, it might not work for everyone depending on your niche, and maybe personalized is the better way to go. So now let's talk about profile optimization, and that's only 20% of the piece of the pie. We have to remember that 80% is actually where the lead is going to. This is the most important part, basically. So let's talk about your lead quality and profile optimization and offer. So this is the type of things that we must do for an optimized profile. We must have a solid, clean, and professional profile and a blue verification check mark. That's optional, but it will help. Next is going to have in your bio, you're going to need credibility and results. You're going to have to really be specific on what you do and what you offer, and then have a call to action as well. With that link from the call to action, it could be a link to your YouTube or VSL as well. And then you should be having about 3 highlight stories, which covers your testimonials, your results, and also the human aspect, the human touch, because we want them. Essentially 80% is that only people buy from people. So if you look like a total bot and a scammer, they're never going to trust you. And right now, because they don't know us, we're trying to emulate that we're just like them. We're human beings, and that they can see us as trustworthy, but also a authoritative figure in the space. And then lastly is content. Create a connection, create credibility and value, those types of contents that we should be posting. So, and this is one of the guys that I admire when it comes to how his account is set up, which his name is Sam. I do marketing, owner of his agencies, and then he has his links, and yeah, it looks very clean. It looks like he's going with the lifestyle approach, which is fine. And yeah, so let's go into more about how we should optimize our profile. And I guess we'll start with mine. So mine is currently not the best right now. I'm still optimizing and trying to really get mines to be dialed in. But so what I have is a clean name, Josh Hustle, no numbers, nothing. I have my name, Joshua Gatewood. What I do, I build outbound acquisition systems for B2B companies. I'm the owner of one more client, and then I have a CTA, which is follow my YouTube account for the free sauce, and then the link to my profile. Then I have 4 highlights currently that I do have, and then of course lifestyle posts that I have currently. So just me being myself, I love working out, I love rugby, I'm from Hawaii, and then just lifestyle, showing more about my life and having that human element to it. And then on top of that, yes, I'm getting likes and I'm getting comments from real people, and that's important. And then on the back end, I have my business reels, which if you're not creating content right now, you are totally missing out. Because currently right now, like building a personal brand, it's a necessity if you really want to succeed in business in the online space. And yeah, so this is what I have currently. Again, a work in progress. And then let's look into a few other accounts that I really like. So here's some good optimization. So we went with Sam earlier. Let's look into what he has. So yes, he has his profiles optimized. You should be having about 6 to 8. images at least on your account. He has a lifestyle. He looks well put together. And then he's the owner. And then he has his link tree that probably takes him to other resources. And then he has a very viral video that went out really well. So that's one. And then other influencers that I like is Ravi Abuvala, and he states he has a blue check mark. And right now, currently, you don't even have to be an influencer to get blue check marks. You just have to be a real person. So I would highly recommend to get a blue check mark. It's only like 14 to 15 bucks a month, but it really, if you're, especially when you're doing outbound, it works. It provides an extra boost of credibility because it verifies yourself, but it also, people will read. They'll notice, oh, I have someone commented on my post, blue check mark, or DM'd me. They will look at it. Anyways, he has what he does. I will start booking you 5 calls a day in the next 7 days. Totally done for you. And then he has his call to actions and lead magnets. And he has his pinned post of probably his most important reels that took off, and a lot of lead magnets. So this is well put together, and he's creating content, providing social proof. Let's look at his reels. Yeah, so this is a really good profile. And let's probably check one more. Then let's look into this guy right here, Charlie Barber. He's actually pretty cool, really cool guy. Had a lot of meetings and talks with him, so recommend you to follow him and join his skull community. But anyways, so Charlie Barber have the blue check, and although he has only almost 4,000 followers, he's a 6-figure entrepreneur. He's building AI and cool stuff, telling them what he does, showing them basically, yeah. So he has his call to action there, and then it takes him to his YouTube page where this is going to be his funnel, basically, of where he nurtures people. And yeah, this is where you'll be nurtured from all his content. So his profile looks clean, his lifestyle, and yeah, his reels. These are the type of guys that you should emulate. Now, I know it's a little bit tricky on what to emulate, but let me tell you what not to do. And these are guys that pitch me their services. So what not to do is have a profile without a photo, have 0 posts with a little bit of following, and yeah, no post yet. That's a no-go. Or the same thing, no posts, no content, and another one, no posts, no content, no bio, no CTA, and actually this account is private. So these are no-goes, and let me also provide you actually deep dive into the type of comments that I get every single day. So of what not to do. So this person commented me, said, "Hey man, if we can guarantee to 3 or 4x your current annual income, would a 2-minute conversation be worth it?" You know what? That was cool. That's decent. But looking into his profile, this is exactly what not to do. He has 0 posts. I thought he was like a fitness bodybuilding enthusiast, but if he's a bodybuilding enthusiast, why is he saying if he can guarantee 3x my current income? Doesn't really make sense. So his frame, and yeah, it's not there yet. Number 1 bodybuilder in Liberia. So bro, just train. Why you're pitching me on boosting my income and crypto? Red flag right there. So that's one way not to do it. Next one, this guy, right off the bat, this is super long. I didn't even have this is going to be the first time, and it's in April. Right now it's August, but I never even read this yet. We'll read it together. Let's see. "I've been planning to message you for a few days now, Joshua, but I finally got the chance. Considering you most likely aren't signing new clients for you." Okay, yeah, I'm not going to be reading that, but you know what? He tried, but I would definitely lower this out. If I could get you 3 to 7 high ticket clients in the next 30 days, would you be worth a quick chat? Yeah, I'm not definitely answering that. I mean, his bio looks clean. Again, 2 posts. I would recommend at least 6. And then, yeah, his bio, it's some non-English. Yeah, so it's just a wrong fit, I guess. Next one again of what not to do. Yo, Josh, I'm impressed with your page. What services do you offer? If he said he's impressed with my page, what services do I offer? But literally what I offer is right in my bio on my page. So it was pretty funny because I knew that was definitely just a straight copy and paste message. Didn't even glance at it. And then, of course, with his bio, talks a lot as well. 0 posts, and yeah. So this is exactly what not to do. I'll probably avoid those. And from what we saw, this is what we should do. Okay? So, yeah, that's what we talked about. Again, make sure that lead quality, you're targeting the right people, because even if you had the perfect copy, you had the best profile optimized, and you had the best offer. If you're selling software services and you're selling it to a med spa owner, it's going to just fall into deaf ears. So you definitely want to make sure you are targeting the right people and everything else falls into place. So the 80-20 rule, remember that. And lastly, we will be talking about the Outbound tech stack overview real quick. So how to send IGDMs from multiple accounts. We saw the overview of what it looks like right here and right here. Again, this is for those that want to scale and want to create those multiple IG accounts and have the automations. Now, fast track, if I'm just with one guy, I would probably just focus with the scraping and using the IGDM bot and tracking. But because we're going to assume that you're scaling currently, let's talk about the setup process. So step 1, we're going to buy IG and Instagram accounts, $3 per account. These are aged accounts, and we can buy from these places right here. These are z2u.com and bulk account buy, basically bulk accounts. I bought a lot of accounts from here, so these are very good. And they're pretty cheap, so like $3 per account. Make sure they're within a 4 to 6 year time frame from 2019 down to 2016, solid. And right here, so $3 per account. Next, we're going to buy, step 2, buy proxies, $5 a month per proxy. And here's are some quality proxy places, Proxy Cheap and Proxy Sale. The reason why we want to buy proxies and IP addresses is because when we're sending a lot of DMs, Instagram is very strict when it comes to the amount of DMs, because paid advertisement is their bread and butter. This is how they make money, right? If we send unlimited DMs to every single person, then they will not make any money. So what this does is to basically keep us hidden and make it look like we are, even though we're all operating with just one laptop, we have 5 different proxies and IP addresses for 5 different accounts. So they're not able to track us, essentially. Step 3, we're going to hide my account, $10 to $50 per month, depending on how accounts you have operating. It's the best multi-login anti-detect browser. I would definitely recommend that. I have it actually right here. And then there's going to be times where you're going to verify your aged accounts that you need to also connect accounts and proxies, and there's also going to need some verifications. With Instagram, they want you to verify, and sometimes your number doesn't work with everything, so there's places where you can use and rent out numbers for verifications, Juicy SMS, and then temp mail. Again, I will go over the setup process and actually go with you in another video. And then step 5 is you're going to have to warm up the account. It's going to take about 7 to 14 days of the warm-up process. I have actually the document right here. And I also want to give credit where credit is due. This is actually coming from Dennis. So If Dennis, you're seeing this, thank you for providing the warm-up system. Best one yet. Never got in trouble for that. And again, it takes about 14 days for the warm-up process. And then it's lead generation. So scraping. Here are a lot of scraping tools that we can use to find, filter, and download all of this into a CVS file and then post it on Google Sheets, on Instagram, from IG export tool, Phantom Buster, Growman. What you can do is hire from Upwork, and then myjobs.ph, and then next on the lead gen. So once we scraped and find leads, we put them into the automated bot system, which there's a lot. So I'm going to break down a few of the bots that I've used and tested. There's multiple opener bots. There is the IG DM bot, which is called Insender, which is right here. Both work really well, and you can send multiple openers. Looking at the test bot, you can place custom, and you can actually, based on following commenters, I usually do custom users because once we scrape the leads, we can just upload it into a CVS file right here, import it, and then I believe it's only like $9 a month, very cheap. Now extra actions. So this is called the Super Booster bot. It's a automated bot for Instagram. You can do extra actions with it, like a post. You can follow, automated follow, and then comment on their post. This is to just gain more notice, and because once you DM, there's a lot of times where it just goes into a hidden post or it's silent. So in order to really get them to notice you and have more notifications, we can use extra actions like the IG Super Booster to follow, like, and comment a post, and then of course they'll be able to notice you and then see your DM. And other ones that I've tried is done for you automation. So this is hands off, everything plus one automated follow-up, which is, I recommend, is auto IG DMs, what you can use. And then there's the other one called code DMs for outreach. And so there's done for you automation. They will take care of everything hands off for you. So far we got everything with the aged accounts, buying an aged account, the proxies, the browsers, using tools for verification purposes, and then warming up the account, scraping names and finding your quality people, and then placing them into the IG bot in order to send out messages. And then of course tracking your KPIs and then all the leads. This is what I currently use, being able to, once we have it all filled out, we're being able to really figure out, okay, where are they at in the stage? They made a positive reply, they sent them calendar link, book, not interested, and then following up. We use the 7 touch point rule, and then being able to track everything from January all the way to December. And that's basically it when it comes to the entire automated outreach system. Of course, there's more things and insights, but at a high level overview, this is as simple as we can make it. So just a quick recap. We had an overview of the automated outbound system, which starts with the lead gen VA that scrapes, qualifies, filters leads, put it into our KPI tracking sheets, and then with a click of a button, the CVS upload and puts it into a file, which the automated bot, making sure that we connect each account to it, will send 50 DMs to each account. And then all we got to do is have our setter or you be able to manage the follow-ups, manage the positive replies, and make sure that you're booking 3 to 5 calls per day once fully ramped. Now, if you are looking to really scale, this is where you hire more appointment setters. You can do this with having them being strictly commission based and setting up calls, or because if you're getting a lot of volume coming inside, it will be easy for them to book more calls and then closing for commission based, so they will perform better. But again, same thing, giving the leads to them and then having them put it into the bot as well, and being in charge of 5 counts. And then now, instead of 3 to 5 calls, you're booking a lot, and you can even book 50 to even 100 per month. The next thing is that if you're not booking meetings, and how to fix it is, just remember 20% is your copy and 80% is going to be everything else, your lead quality, profile optimization, and making sure your offer is correct. And then the tech stack that we talked about that you need to use from A to Z, the setup all the way down to scraping, lead generation, and tracking using the KPIs. So if you found this video helpful and you want this entire sheet, definitely just DM me on Instagram and I'll send you it there. And also, if you found this valuable and if you can help my channel out, definitely leave a like and subscribe for more. Other than that, talk to you guys later.